When we're on the plane, they're like, oh, there's gonna be a slight delay. We're checking out. There's like something wrong.
Airport frustrations as Alaska Airlines halts all flights nationwide for about 3 hours Sunday night. What you can expect today and what the airline is saying led to the ground stop. Plus, uncovering Alaska's history, evidence of a 7,000-year-old Alutiiq village is found near Kodiak. What exactly was found and what researchers are saying about the ancient discovery. And later, these pups may not know how to fly, but these rescue dogs do have a superpower, making their human parents fall in love with them. We'll show you why they're all dressed up as Superman as the morning edition starts now. Good Monday morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us today. They are all superheroes in my eyes.
Yeah, I love dogs themselves. You walk across one, you may have just met them, and you're like, I love you.
Yes,
it's just
I love them all.
it's hard not to love animals,
they
especially
get all
dogs. We are waking up this morning. We do have some fog across parts of South Central. Some drizzle activity remains with us. Now, this will gradually taper off through the mid-morning hours, and we'll see the return to some sunshine. But, of course, those foggy conditions we're seeing across South Central this morning may lead to some localized visibility concerns across the region. Those temperatures are sitting at 55 degrees, winds remaining fairly calm, and that light rainfall that has been with us. Again, that's going to continue to gradually taper off through the day. Not seeing it on the radar, and this is largely due to the rain itself falling below that radar beam. It's just the first couple of hundred feet of the atmosphere that remains fairly saturated. That is why we're seeing some of that drizzle activity. 55 in Talkeetna, 56 degrees in Golconda. Already seeing some of that sunshine peaks returning as you head out towards areas of the Kenai, really from Kenai out towards Seward and Homer as you head through southern parts of the Kenai. You'll see that gradual return to sunshine a bit earlier compared to the rest of South Central. But again, we are seeing that chance for some rain, not showing up on the radar for most locations. You can see some sprinkle activity through the valley, and then as you head out towards northern parts of Prince William Sound. But largely expecting most of today to be on the dry side outside of this morning. And of course, we've got those foggy conditions that are with us, primarily for locations from Anchorage and north into the valley. You can see visibility down to 2 miles here in Anchorage, 4-mile visibility in Palmer and Talkeetna, while Wasilla is seeing a lot more improvement when it comes to visibility, but still holding on to some of those foggy conditions. We'll still see some of that light drizzle activity, just a few hundredths of an inch to be expected for inland locations, but we will see the gradual return to some sunshine, and temperatures this week will make a run near, if not into the lower 70s. I'll have more on that 7-day forecast for you coming up.
In today's top story, you'll want to check your flight information this morning before heading to the airport. Alaska Airlines has resumed operations after a ground stop lasting about 3 hours for all of Alaska and Horizon airline planes Sunday night. The airline said it was due to an IT outage. Operations resumed around 3 p.m. Alaska time. Some of the people affected by the ground stop expressed frustration.
We were about on the plane for like 2 hours. Everyone was really nice about it, but it was like 2 hours. And then they said, hey, it's just not going to happen tonight.
I'm kind of aggravated because I was going to give them a good review because coming in was fine, but going home is kind of ridiculous. Right. Feet hurt, we tired. Yes, it's ridiculous.
In a post on social media, the airline said there will still be some residual impacts to flights as it will take some time to get overall operations back to normal. The airline has not specified the nature of the outage. This comes as Boeing and Alaska Airlines settle one of several lawsuits filed against either company following the mid-flight blowout of a door plug last January. The settlement involves 3 Oregon residents on board the flight. The plaintiffs sought $1 billion in damages. Dozens of lawsuits have been filed but are on hold as the NTSB investigates. Attorneys say the NTSB has now filed its final report, so the discovery process can move forward. Boeing and Alaska Airlines have not commented. Both companies have previously denied the allegations and claims that they were negligent. The Anchorage Police Department is working to determine what led to a shooting in downtown Anchorage that left a man dead and 3 others with injuries outside a bar on 4th Avenue between G and H Street. Someone who was there after the shooting shared this video with us. Officers responded to the area just before 3 a.m. Sunday. The department says 4 people were hurt. 1 was found dead and another with life-threatening injuries. 2 were reported to have non-life-threatening injuries. APD says it has contacted everyone thought to be involved and is not looking for a suspect at this time. It is calling this a homicide investigation and is asking anyone with information or a video to contact the department.
Deshaun Alex. Linda Borowski. Olivia Brummer. Mary Covington. Briar Dixon.
Forever memorialized, never forgotten. Families gathered over the weekend as 23 new names were added to a memorial no one wants to see their loved ones on. The annual Victims for Justice Homicide Memorial Ceremony took place Saturday at Anchorage's Hostetler Park, with people coming from across the state to remember those lost.
This is my 5th year coming here, and this thing is always, it's kind of one of those times for you to reach to grieve a little more. You know, it's never an easy thing to do.
Many in attendance felt the support from the community. The memorial service gives a voice to those who normally wouldn't have it, and it helps memorialize friends and family members gone too soon. Layoffs and reassignments within the Anchorage School District just a few weeks before kids head back to school. District leaders say a freeze in grant funding worth more than $14 million by the U.S. Department of Education is leaving them no choice. Georgina Fernandez sat down with the superintendent to chat about what's next.
And are more layoffs coming?
Yes, they could be coming because if the federal government does not restore the full $14 million, we continue to exhaust our reserves every week.
We saw 5. How many more could be coming?
It could be more. So stay tuned on the FAQ. I don't want to bog people down with too many details now. But again, we had $14 million. It went to 0. We used our general fund to try to float these next few weeks. We're exhausting reserves as we speak, and they're not going to last forever. So you'll notice that places like the Matsu, they're still holding out for hope that the funding will come in. I've already lost hope, and I hope that somebody proves me wrong. I'd love to talk with you, Georgina, next week and say, well, I was wrong. The federal government gave us the $14 million, and now we can pick up the pieces. But frankly, the damage has been done. If you're a teacher or a staff member that was reassigned this week, you probably won't be reassigned back, because by the time we come back, it's going to be the first day of school. And what parent wants their kid to have a new teacher on the second day of school because the feds decided to give the money back on the first day of school? These are the practical implications and dangers of not funding schools on time.
As far as state funding goes, Governor Dunleavy says his partial veto of the base student allocation increase was considered carefully. He says that was necessary due to falling oil prices. Dunleavy also vetoed a bill that would let paramedics or other licensed emergency responders give life-saving treatment to injured police and rescue dogs. State law allowed non-licensed people to treat injured canines, but licensed providers are not allowed to help because it would be a violation of their license for using veterinary medicine. This all became an issue after the shooting death of Alaska State Trooper Canine Rico in 2017. Despite the efforts to save the dog, no care was given to Rico because the canine was in the back of a vehicle a trooper was driving. Under Alaska law, any help from his partner or a first responder beyond first aid can risk misdemeanor charges. In his veto statement, the governor cited veterinarian concerns, saying he feels a law change could, quote, blur scopes of practices, increase liability exposure, and duplicate services already available. Coming up, unearthing island history.
Mahalo e nā kua.
What's old is new again as shifting sands reveal ancient Hawaiian petroglyphs. Take a look next.
Well, drizzle remains with us this morning across South Central. Some sunshine gradually returns throughout the day. I'll have more on that. But first, sunrise, 5:06 in Anchorage, 4:27 in Juneau. Your full forecast is next.
Welcome back on this Monday morning. It looks like we have two bears waiting to catch some salmon this morning, Aaron.
It always amazes me the number of fish that's just, jumping freely trying to make it over the falls. But yeah, we've got those two bears this morning and a nice little view out towards Brooks Falls. And we're still holding on to some drizzle this morning across South Central. And you may see some of those foggy conditions for parts of South Central. Temperatures across the state, most locations sitting in the 40s and the 50s. We do have some warmer weather that will grip areas of South Central and Southeast here over the next couple of days, more so for the Panhandle as we continue to hold on to these dry conditions. We've got some heat advisories out towards southern parts of the Panhandle with those temperatures today expected to warm into the 70s, possibly even seeing some 80-degree readings. We've got 49 in Nome, 51 degrees in McGrath, and 49 degrees in Dillingham. You can see a good portion of the state sitting up under mostly cloudy to overcast skies. So we still got an area of low pressure out towards western Alaska. Now, when you're looking at the upper level flow of the atmosphere, we've got most of it coming in from west to east. So that's going to continue to advect most of that moisture in across the state. We've got some rain showers pushing through parts of the interior this morning. And of course, some of that drizzle activity that continues to impact areas of South Central. Looking to our south, though, we've got a ridge of high pressure that's going to slowly begin to build its way northward. Not going to stay with us all week long for South Central, but we will still see some of its influence here over the next couple of days. What we have going on, that ridge is going to try to build northward, but as it does, we've also got an area of low pressure that's beginning to approach the Chukchi Sea. That's going to kind of flatten that ridge here over the next couple of days. We'll still see some influence from the ridge, but most of that influence will be felt out towards southeast. You can see areas to the north as you head north of the Brooks Range, as well as the Alaska Range, going to continue to hold on to some of these somewhat cooler conditions and wetter weather pattern that's going to take hold. In fact, later this week, we'll begin to tap into some of those colder conditions or cooler conditions for the interior. So that ridge, though, is going to continue to remain to our south. There's that moisture coming in west to east for a large portion of this week. We'll stay on the dry side later today for South Central, but overnight into tomorrow, once again, we could see some drizzle activity across parts of South Central. Not everyone's going to see it. This is not going to be all-day rain. It's really just going to be that early morning drizzle that does stay with us. And then we'll see a gradual return to some sunshine here over the next couple of days. Now, by midweek, we could see more rain. That's going to grip areas of the Copper River Basin out towards Wrangell, St. Elias, and extreme western parts of the Susitna Valley. So, yes, there is still some rain with us across parts of South Central this week, but we'll see a decent chance of some sunshine potential and those temperatures warming into the upper 60s and lower 70s. So again, drizzle stays with us for the first part of the morning. You can see how much rain we're going to be dealing with across the state the next couple of days, really favoring areas north of the Alaska Range and out towards western parts of the state, which will see most of this rainfall activity. Notice out towards southeast, largely on the dry side, but we can't rule out a stray shower or two. So heat advisory to the south, many areas today making a run into the 70s, if not near 80 degrees through parts of the southern Panhandle. We've got the return to sunshine across the Kenai, those temperatures warming into the 50s and the 60s. And we could see a few locations later today warming into the 70s, if not the low to mid 70s for parts of the Copper River Basin. Of course, it all hinges on when we see some of this sunshine returning. Mid to upper 60s through the valley with that drizzle. And of course, here in Anchorage, we'll see a high of 65 degrees. But Kristen, we're going to see temperatures this week making a decent run into the upper 60s, possibly 70 degrees by the middle of the week.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Aaron. A new piece of Alaska's history has been discovered on Kodiak's wind-battered Alutiiq Island. Archaeological research on the island has been happening at least since the Exxon Valdez oil spill in 1989. That research is yielding new results. What you're seeing on your screen is a fragment of a tool that was made more than 7,000 years ago. The Alutiiq Museum's director of archaeology says these tools were stone blades, and while tools of a similar kind can be found around Alaska from different time periods, if they're found in Kodiak, archaeologists know the site is at least 7,000 years old.
So the diagnostic tools that we found in that site were blades, which are long, slender pieces of chipped stone that were slotted in bone points and used for cutting as cutting implements. And so those are only found in Kodiak and Alutiiq sites that are over 7,000 years old.
These artifacts won't be on display anywhere. They'll instead be used to help update technical reports that the state can use when considering upgrading or building new trails. The museum says the find is exciting because of what it adds to Alaska's history.
This was all part of the Alutiiq homeland, and even if it seems like Shuyak is far away today, Alutiiq paddlers could make it up there in less than a day from the city of Kodiak, which is really amazing.
The work being done on Shuyak is in its final stage. The National Park Service funded the 2-year project as part of its Tribal Heritage Program. It's been nearly a decade since rock carvings on the shore of Oahu made their last appearance. Mahealani Richardson caught up with the folks heading to the beach to see the remarkable sight.
There is one big petroglyph with a little petroglyph right on top of it. The makua holding the keiki on his shoulders and kiloing. Just observing the area, just playing in the area. Mahalo e nā pua.
Nani Peterson has lived on the Waianae coast her entire life and has never seen these petroglyphs at Polka'i Bay until today.
They're still here. You know, that's the first thing that I can think of is Arkopuna is definitely still here.
These ki'i pohaku at the shoreline sandstone are fronting Cabin 11 at the Pilila'au Army Recreation Center. The biggest one is more than 3 feet tall.
These beautiful, beautiful images that they've laid for us to understand. And it's time we understand.
The huge petroglyphs were exposed over the weekend, and cultural experts believe they're more than 1,000 years old. Now, they were first discovered in 2016, and locals here say they haven't been seen in years.
You just never expect anything like that to be discovered in especially our shoreline. I really didn't even know that that was possible.
So we have a cultural resources team that works in Army Garrison to protect and preserve artifacts such as these petroglyphs. Littoral shifts that move the sand and sediment off of these petroglyphs happened over the weekends.
An Army report cataloged 26 petroglyphs spanning about 131 feet of beach. 8 of the figures in the beach rock appear to be male. Experts say the wave-deposited sand and algae suggest that unrecorded petroglyphs may still exist.
They tend to tell the mo'olelo or a story of the place. We're just guessing that this one was more than likely for agriculture.
We're told the best time to see the ki'i pohaku is during low tide. When the sand will cover them again is a mystery.
The Army says visitors can walk to the beach site but must show a military ID to park at the camp.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically and stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.